Talk about influencers. These are influencers, and they're friends of mine. Jack Posobiec. Where's Jack? Jack, who's done a great job.
All right, Jack Posobiec, we are back here, Human Events Daily, live on Real America's Voice. I want to play the next half of that Infiltration documentary, Turning Point USA Frontlines, going beyond the front lines into the heart of Antifa.
Despite the change in appearance, their goals remain the same.
Because we're being so successful.
Declare class warfare, use the latest protest movement to destabilize the U.S. government, tear down capitalism and anything related to Israel. Then usher in a violent revolution built on socialist and communist ideals. This playbook is pretty much laid out in all their material.
Welcome to the Church of Satan Anarchists.
But most unsettling of all, multiple vendors embrace teachings from the occult and Satan worship.
Explicitly anarcho-Satanism.
This man altered the Antifa logo and added prongs from a devil's pitchfork.
Satan!
Then asked people to put on this Lucifer mask and recite their allegiance to the Prince of Darkness.
Satan, the eternal rebel, the first freethinker, and the emancipator of worlds.
The next day, Borisenko and I flew to the Emerald City to meet citizen journalist Matthew Adams.
You can feel the heat.
Who's been covering Antifa chaos for several years.
They're absolutely trying to recruit for Antifa.
We infiltrated the Seattle anarchist book fair hosted by the Vera Project.
They want to put our picture up there for being a fascist.
And were immediately greeted by a massive board featuring a so-called wall of fascists. That's us in the photos. Once we got in wearing disguises, the messaging and the vibe were pretty much the same as the Oakland Book Fair. More far-left propaganda, calls for anarchist violence against the ruling class.
I hope to see all of you soon, 10 minutes.
And hypersexualized content targeting minors. Borisenko even obtained a flyer for an Antifa direct action in a city park scheduled for Halloween Eve.
Stop filming, please. Stop fucking filming.
Red pants, Jonathan Choe.
Adams and I were eventually outed and chased by a group of angry transgender activists.
Even with this amazing t-shirt, they know us for these direct actions.
We're going to Left Bank Books, which is a far-left revolutionary bookstore.
Borisenko spent the remainder of her time plotting out the constellation of bookstores in Seattle that are keeping these ideas alive.
You notice the direct action fascist, anti-fascist arrows?
With more Americans now realizing the danger posed by Antifa and their followers.
The rioters that were saying kill ICE agents.
Federal authorities are also trying to disrupt the terror group's funding network.
We are following the money.
But like a hydra.
And I won't give a fuck!
Cutting off one head will likely sprout several others.
They are harming everyday citizens in every single one of our communities.
Because Antifa is fueled by an allegiance to extremist ideology, not just a bank account.
So if law enforcement isn't looking at the bookstores and the book fairs, then they're really missing an opportunity to figure out what these people are doing.
Just incredible work. And we're joined now by two of the members of that team, incredible, intrepid journalists and videographers and friends of mine, by the way. We've got Jonathan Choe and 6'7" Kevin. What's up, guys?
Howdy.
Thanks for having us back.
So let me get started on this. Jonathan, the first question I have is how did you shape this operation, and how was it that you got started really on this infiltration?
Well, Jack, the conversation about chasing this story actually started right after our White House roundtable. I think it's been just about a week now since we were both there advising the president on Antifa and our experience covering this domestic terror group. And my friend and researcher, Karlin Borisenko, and I, we've stayed in touch, and she told me that if I really wanted to see what was happening behind the scenes, the underbelly, so to speak, the planning, the recruiting, the indoctrination, that I would need to go to these anarchist book fairs. Now, look, I've known about anarchist book fairs for several years now, living in Seattle. Places like Portland have them, Oakland have them. I didn't really think much of them. I thought they were just book fairs, right? Pretty innocuous. But once I went inside with Karlin, that's when I started to see the actual material, the messaging inside, the calls for direct action, and the sessions, like one on an anti-ICE protest that they're planning. They're actually calling for violence and teaching recruits how to, again, get in the way of these agents and disrupt ICE raids.
So the idea is, then you came in. Now, did you know where these locations were? Did Dr. Carlin know? Was this something that you uncovered by sort of, using a top of funnel method where you go to the black bloc and then learn more information as you daisy chain it forward?
Yeah, pretty much. This is all public knowledge. This is all openly advertised on social media sites like Blue Sky, Instagram, and of course the flyer method. These are posted everywhere. I want to be very clear. There was no fee to enter these anarchist book fairs. It was totally free. It was open to the public. The only thing that we couldn't do was record. And that's where we had to go undercover. And unfortunately for me and Carlin, we're recognizable in this space. The far left activists know who we are. So there were actually poster boards with our faces saying, look out for these fascists. That's what they called us, fascists.
And that's something I want to ask in a second. By the way, 6'7" Kevins, I have to imagine that after this, they're definitely going to recognize you. By the way, he really is 6'7", folks. Can't really tell here.
Yeah, they are going to recognize me. I did get outed there for trying to record inside of a DIY abortion workshop. But being on the ground at this book fair, one of the things that hit me first, other than the smell, because there are a lot of overweight LGBTQ individuals, so you just get struck by the smell, was the occult, the witchcraft, and the overt Satanism that was everywhere at this book fair. I was talking to people, I was like, are you guys putting out real witchcraft, real sigils, things like that? They said, yeah. I mean, you saw the guy there, he asked me, hey, put on this satanic mask and basically, swear yourself to Satan. I'm like, no thanks, I'm good. But when conservatives say this is a spiritual war, this really is. And we need to pray for these individuals because they're all images of God still, but they're being corrupted right now. But prayers are necessary. This is a spiritual war.
That's exactly right. And we're going to break that down some more throughout the rest of the episode. Quick break here. Do not touch that. Don't even think about scrolling away, folks. Turning Point USA Frontlines infiltrated Antifa, and we've got the stories from inside the black bloc. Stay tuned. Right back. Real America's Voice.